For people who want to know what is the Keith Andrew Network, the whole point of my talk show is to show you that even with having a learning disability, I can still amount to something. And at the same time, I'm able to turn myself into an example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities and disabilities, and never give up and prove people wrong. Prove to them that labels do not dictate who you are and who you're going to be. To prove them, you can still amount to something.
Hi, my name is Lisa Butala. I was just interviewed by Keith Andrews. Make sure to check it out. He is one hell of a guy. Inspiring, funny, and I hope you're entertained with this episode.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the one and only Keith Andrew Network. This is episode 1028. That is right, 1028. This is being seen on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, and all social medias. If you're watching, you have to leave a comment. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like. Tell me who I should interview. Overall, normal conversation. Make a new friend out of it. With that being said, I'm going to start off as everyone's favorite, icebreakers. The first one I want to ask you is tell our audience a little bit about your background and how you came to do what you do now.
Absolutely. Well, first off, thank you for having me, Keith. It is such an honor. My name is Lisa Butala, and I am an actress here in Long Beach, California. I originally, that wasn't the plan, originally went to college for the FBI, but decided while I was here to give a long-time dream a shot, and so far it's going well. I've been acting professionally for about a year and a half. I also sing and work as an EMT.
Oh, nice. And who influenced you to want to work for the FBI?
I knew I wanted to go into a profession that was really meaningful to me. Obviously, every profession is meaningful, but that kind of got me into the law enforcement side. And I grew up watching Criminal Minds with my mom, dad, and grandparents a lot. So that kind of got me into, ooh, I'd like to do this. And then I went to an academy in high school and really, fell in love with the side that wasn't glamorous on the TV. And it became something I thought I'd be good at. And my parents were all in full support. So,
Well, if you don't mind me for asking, I had a brain fart. If you don't mind me for asking, I hope you're very flexible because dodging bullets, you have to be like Superman.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But I'm here on the Keith Andrew Network. We support the police department and with the firemen because that's not an easy job. Running into a burning building, telling some schmuck to roll over, go to the side of the road. It is amazing. We were on my way. I work as a part-time pet trainer. We were on our way. I don't drive. My dad was driving me. And this guy passed us. And what really kind of put the icing on the cake was disturbing about who passed you on the no passing lane was a propane truck. I'm like, we're doing the speed limit, and this jackass who's in a propane truck really wants to go out with a literal bang. It's kind of like the expression is there's never a cop around when you need them. People get behind you. Probably know people get behind you. They flash their lights. They honk their horn. They jump up and down in their car like they're constipated or something. And people say I have a disability, but have you seen how people drive? It's kind of like I am the one with a disability. It's like
I definitely know what you mean, especially here in the city in Los Angeles. It's crazy, especially in that commute traffic.
Well, if you're interested, I'd like to invite you to be part of my June 8th episode of the Keith Andrew Network. It's my 10-year anniversary. If you're up to travel, and I know you're really busy, but if you're ever in the New York area, I would love to have you go. So far, no one's going. Not surprised. But the question I want to ask you is how many years have you been an actress?
I've been doing it professionally for about a year and a half now.
Now, let me ask you the question about I overheard on a YouTube show Is it true or is it not true that 10 years doesn't really mean anything? I mean, yes, it means something that you've been doing this for 10 years, but at the same time, it's kind of like one of those things. Well, hey, you've been doing a talk show for 10 years. What do you have to show for it? But then on the other hand, if you're an actor, it's like, oh, I've been an actor for 10 years. What have you done? So the question I want to ask you is, do the 10 years really matter, or do you think it's just kind of like, I mean, it's a double-edged sword, like, yeah, that matters, but do the 10 years really mean anything?
Hmm. I think you hit it right on the money. It is a double-edged sword. I think it really depends on the person. This career is so chaotic, and it's, due to talent, due to look, due to luck, but ultimately it comes down to opportunity and luck. And so I think it depends on the person. Some people, quote, make it right off the bat. Others are working 10, 20 years and not really being recognized in the way that, we usually see in Oscars and Academy Awards. And so I think it does matter in terms of hard work. If you're working 10 years as an actor, you're dedicated, you're sticking with it, you're not quitting. So I think that accounts for a lot, and the projects that you do in that time. But at the same time, I think with this career, especially in the industry, time sometimes isn't as relevant. It's more of how many projects you do, and how many opportunities you have, and how much you grow your career.
I agree with you 100%. So the last two easy questions, I want to ask you on icebreakers, then we can go to the hard-hitting ones. You can ask me anything you want. Now, you mentioned you wanted to work for the FBI, and then you went into acting. When you were in college, did you major in acting, or what did you major in?
I majored in criminal justice. Yep. So it's actually something I'm looking forward to, is when I play an agent or a detective or whatnot, which I do have some upcoming projects. When an interviewer asks me, "What did you do to prepare for the role?" "Oh, I went to college for 3 years, got a criminal justice degree."
Oh, that's really cool. You are a true inspiration.
Thank you.
And one of my fun questions I asked were you a study nerd, a party animal, and did you do any sports growing up?
I'm definitely a study nerd all the way. I always strive for straight A's in high school and in college. I did play tennis a lot in high school. I played all 4 years. And then I also was a student coach for the varsity football team in high school. So that was a lot of fun.
No, very cool. And one curveball I'm gonna throw in there. A lot of people make fun of me for this, but I think it makes it for an interesting question. Did you ever get the chance to do one of those human pyramids, or are you not into that stuff?
I didn't. It would have been fun to do. I would have been up for it. I don't know if it would have went well, but no, I didn't get an opportunity to do that one.
I love that stuff. I'm a loser. When I was younger, I think it was my parents or my grandparents got me a circus book. And it was so nice, I flipped through it. But on the second page, it was like one of those, it was a pyramid. And I was like, I don't know what about it, but it really stood out to me. So I like that stuff. I'm a loser.
I mean,
But
I like that stuff too, so I'm with you if we're defining it as a loser.
no, I appreciate that. Now, the question I want to ask you next is, what are some of your career highlights?
Um, Definitely one of the most recent features I worked on was a feature directed by Brett Mauser titled The Oldest Posse. So that's going to be coming out in August. I play an outlaw named Dunn, who's based off of a real outlaw, Rose Dunn. She's snarky, she's badass, so she's similar to me. But that was definitely one. Got to travel to Texas, got to have my dad on set for the first time, which he was beaming all the way, so that just made my day. So there's that. I have my first network television appearance on the upcoming series Vice Squad Los Angeles, where I'll be playing an Interpol agent named Shiloh Cannon. So I'm excited for that. Fingers crossed it gets picked up. And then probably one of my first films I ever did was a film titled Circuit Breaker. It's a short film directed by Tyler Winther, and he gave me my first, shot as a newbie. It was the first time I was on set. And I say it's a highlight because that was the first time being on set that I was like, this is something I want to pursue. This is something I see myself doing, and I'm glad I stuck with it.
I feel the same way. I've been, like I mentioned, been doing this for, I now can actually say 10 and a half years. And my dad says I have diarrhea of the mouth. And I feel like I found something I'm good at because there's, you probably know, you don't want to do things half-assed. You don't want to walk into a situation. And I give you an example. I used to work for Yankee Candle. This is going to be the most simplest job ever. You're selling a candle. How hard is that? It's not that freaking hard. However, of course, with everything, reality smacks you in the face. You get some of the stupid questions like, what's this candle made of? Wax? When was it made? Oh, I just made it today. It's fresh. What are the ingredients? Of course, if do you use candles?
I do occasionally.
Oh, fun fact, candles that have free wicks, you get one in a couple hours. Candles that have two wicks, I think you get like a day or so. And a candle that has only one, you can get like a month out of it.
Wow.
So the
That's
more,
good to know.
no, absolutely, the more candles, so like the more wicks it has, it depends. You want to have a couple hours, you want to have a couple days or months. I would go with the months, to be honest.
Same here.
So I want to ask you a fun subject, but it's something that I've been working on. And you can throw it back at me. You can ask me anything. I have no cards on my sleeve. So, what's the big elephant in the room? Disabilities. Besides me, obviously, have you worked with people with learning disabilities? And for people who have disabilities that want to follow in your footsteps, what would the do's and don'ts of following in your footsteps and starting your acting career?
Absolutely. I did have the pleasure of working with someone with a disability, a hearing disability, when I was working on a student film. And honestly, you can't even tell that they were amazing. They were talented. They had to lean in occasionally or have a hand gesture, but it's so worth it. And I would say to anyone, looking to go into this industry, it's more diverse than ever now. And so, sorry, it's my dog in the
No,
background.
don't worry about it.
It's so diverse. There's a spot for everybody. There's so many different roles coming out, and I really encourage them to do it, to try at least, put themselves out there. Have a backup plan if you want, as like a safety net. But as with anyone going in this industry, it's a risk, no matter who you are, no matter what you look like, no matter if you have a disability or not. So I say go for it. Believe in yourself, believe there is a place for you, and believe in what you can do, because oftentimes we're more capable of what we think.
And your dog's more than welcome to be a guest on the show. What type of dog do you have?
A German Shepherd.
Oh, nice. The place where I work, he has two German Shepherds. Well, I think one's 14 and I think the other's 2. They're like big babies.
Oh, yeah.
Does your dog, what's the dog's name?
Nala.
Is she like a big talker?
Oh yeah, that's why she's chatting up in the background. She just turned 3, but she still has that puppy energy, and I have a feeling it's gonna be there for a while.
For me, we had her name was Fifi. She was 14, but she passed away. But my dad was depressed, so we got him a new dog. So it's the family dog, but it's mostly his dog. Her name is Aria. Things about for me going forward, I would go to like a shelter because I'm done with breeders. Long story short, the breeder said she was only like from the second litter. She was, long story short, there's a lot of things to it. She was overbred. She has like some issues. She's really good, very moody and very stubborn. So if she doesn't want to do something, she will shoot you a look. I know I love Aria very much, but we had for me anyway, I had a rocky start with her. Yeah,
Mm.
but hey, no one's perfect. A lot of people say that about me. But
We're all perfectly imperfect.
it's true. The next one I want to ask you is how did you find someone to represent you? And how do you find the right person to represent you? Do you, like for an example, I keep finding people like, hey, I can represent you, but you have to pay me. Now, do you agree or disagree? But you have to pay someone to represent you, or would they take a commission out of what you earn?
I definitely go with the commission. That's the whole thing, is it's a relationship. They're helping you build your career, and they're getting a part of that commission when you're if when I'm gonna say when you're successful. And as for finding, I actually had my manager reach out to me. I had reached out to one other agent before that was interested, but there just wasn't a lot we agreed on. And I think the most important thing when finding representation, whether it's an agent or a manager, is finding someone that believes in you. And that was really what stuck out to me and my manager, is he believed in me. He saw something in me, especially being a newbie. He gave me a shot, and it's a team. And if you have someone that believes in you and you believe in them, it's going to work a lot better than thinking, oh, I work for this person, or they're going to help me become a star. It's a team. We're going to build a career together, and we're going to have a great time doing it.
No, and that's how it should work. For me, unfortunately, I keep finding, and you can probably taking a guess. And if I hesitate, I apologize for my disability. You probably seen this on Instagram. Hey, you want to be featured on Fox? Do you want to be featured on TV? Do you want to give me 15 seconds of your time? And I'm like, okay, I know it's a scam, but why not? Let's humor it. But the one thing they all have in common is you have to have a book. A lot of people say, I should write a book, but it's funny because they're like, oh, we can help you get everywhere, but they will sell you anything. And unfortunately, I fall under this category. But when I invited people to be on my show, it's like, what is he selling? I'm not selling anything. I'm selling myself. But I'm going to ask you this question. Usually I do this off the air, but I'm going to pass the show over to you. But with this last question, I want you to be brutally honest. When I first approached you to be a guest in my talk show, what made you say yes? How do you feel now? What do you recommend to other people? Like, did you think it was a scam? Did you think, okay, this sounds like an interesting story, but what is his hidden agenda? I want you to be completely honest to our audience.
Absolutely. I think when opening any message, you're always going to have that hesitation, like, okay, is this legitimate? But what stood out to me of yours was that you were honest. This is what I'm doing. I'd love if you were a part of it to, help me spread this message. And that stood out to me. I want to be a part of something that makes an impact. And that's exactly what you're doing. And that was why I said yes. And my thoughts of it was, this is a guy who wants to be an inspiration to others, who wants to show them that they're capable of doing whatever they want. And that's a saying that I live by, is you can do anything you put your mind to. And so, yes, I would recommend this interview to anybody who would want to do it. And I am so glad that you are doing this, because it has been a lot of fun, and it's going to inspire a lot of other people to follow their dreams and their passions.
No, absolutely. Now it's the last 8 minutes. I'm going to pass it over to you. Was there any subjects you want to talk about? Anything you want to promote? Anything you want to ask me? This is your time.
Oh, thank you. I think maybe some advice to anyone who's going into this industry. I'm a country girl who gave it a shot, so if I can do it, you can certainly try. But try not to focus so much on the fame and the fortune and meeting these celebrities. Do it because you love to storytell. Do it because you want to bring characters to life that give people an escape from reality, that bring these worlds we've never seen together, and make someone's day. So make sure, if you're going into this career, to do it for the right reasons. And if that's the case, just keep believing in yourself. And number one is just believe in yourself. I'm a small town country girl who took a shot, and so far it's going well. So fingers crossed for a lot of adventures and opportunities in the future. But the number one thing is to trust yourself, to give it a shot. And you never know. Dreams are one thing, but you have to work hard towards them. And if you do that, if you work hard, if you put your mind to it, then you're going to succeed. And don't try to focus just on the money and the fame and the fortune. Focus on the storytelling. If you love to storytell, if you have a passion for bringing characters to life and making movies for people to enjoy, to provide an escape for them during the day, that's what you should be doing it for. So if that's you, give it a shot, because you never know what can happen.
No, I agree with you 100%. For me, I'm kind of guilty. I do this because I want to become famous. And because I know it sounds like an oxymoron, every single person wants to become famous, but everyone has a gimmick. Either they're a wrestler,
Right.
either they're a boxer, football player, baseball. And I'm like, okay, well, how can I become famous, but also make a statement saying, if people with disabilities can follow their dreams, if I can do it, you can do it too. And you can do laps
Exactly.
around me. And you are a true inspiration. I know people say I'm an inspiration.
Thank
I
you.
know a lot of people say I have my head up my ass. But you are your own worst enemy. You are your own worst critic. So
Absolutely.
every day when you look in the mirror, this is something I came up with. If you can look at your reflection and smile, you're doing something right. Anytime you look at yourself in the mirror, hopefully it doesn't break, but not on my face. So, but when I look in the mirror and the days I can't look at myself, just like I have to redo myself, I have to re-image myself. I got a haircut, so I felt better. It was shave and a haircut, so I did both, obviously. So I don't look like a hippie or an escapee from a mental institution. But it's amazing how you can put these glasses on, you put a nice shirt on, and it's kind of like a security blanket, kind of, but it gives you the confidence of what The Rock says, or Dwayne Johnson, either one of those names,
Mhm.
clanging and banging, do this 24/7 as long as you have a heartbeat in your pulse. And he's really inspirational. And I listen to him. I want to be the white, not to sound racist, I want to be the white version of The Rock. And people are like, we can see you as John Cena, whatever. John Cena on Rock, that's fine. It's funny because Cena had his little towel he used to come out with the ring, just never give up. And that was
Mhm.
one of my slogans. And then I saw him do it. And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to be sued. So I'm going to come up with something better. So John Cena can have his never give up, even though that's in my catchphrase, but hashtag break the label. So I added something to that. So it's kind of like mine, but
I love
every
that.
everything you can think of, it's been done before. Even the titles of the book. If you would
Mhm.
write a book about your life, what would it be?
Oh, geez.
Oh, that's a good
um,
title.
yeah. Oh, geez. My life. Um, I don't know. That would have to, I guess, come to me. I'd probably title it after I wrote it, and then whatever seemed to fit. Um, yeah, I don't know. That's a good one.
The title for me, I was telling my dad, because I wrote a book, I was jealous of my brother. So I wrote a book Funny story, I can get to that in a second. But the title of the book was When You Overcome Controversy, Dreams Do Come True, Even If You Have a Learning Disability. I thought that was so cool. And then my brother says that's so stupid because you can't overcome controversy. And I'm like, you couldn't just tell me that before I paid the money for this thing. What's funny about it is I asked Exuberus, I said, can you go over it? Can you read it? Can you make sure it's editable? Yeah, sure, whatever. If the book was meant to be a joke, then it would be perfect because it's filled with spelling errors and all that crap. And I'm just trying to make you laugh. But one of the lines was, my mom went to Camille College. Instead of saying my mom went to Camille College, it said my mom went to comedy college. And I was born, I was conceived on Long Island. But instead of saying that, it says, I came from long land. And my people are like, yes, I came from long land by water. So if it's meant to be a joke, mission accomplished. Yesterday, I got a phone call. I don't know, for whatever company this was. It says, oh, we want to talk to you about working on your book, Overcome Con. I cringe when I hear the title now. Oh, you know, when overcome controversy, dreams do come true. I'm like, that's not the title anymore, but whatever. It's a great book. I really enjoyed it. How did you enjoy it if it was full of spelling errors and there was no story to it? So completely, you're full of crap, and you're just trying to, rope me in and say, oh, wow, it's so. Title of my book, because I was shooting out names left and right. The title of my book, if I'm working on, is Does It Really Matter?
Nice.
And I said to my dad, does it really matter? And he said to me, there you go. You just have a title of your book. So, Keith Andrew, does it really matter?
Love it. Now you just got to put it on a t-shirt.
No, absolutely. And if I come up with that, we can always go half on that. But
sounds like a plan.
I do have a couple of questions for you off the air. But how can our fans and listeners get in touch with you? Are you on LinkedIn, Instagram, any social medias you would recommend?
Yeah, probably the best way would be my Instagram. It's at Lisa, Lisa _ and then my last name, Butala.
And I will be in the description underneath the video as well. And under the screen as well in the beginning. With that being said, it was a real honor and privilege having you as a guest. For us to do a part 2, our goal was to reach 100 and more views. So if everyone who's watching, you have to comment, tell us what we like, tell us what you did not like. Obviously I talk too much, but that's the point of the show of interacting. It isn't, oh, hey, he has an index card full of questions. You have to interact with the guest. If the audience is entertained, you're doing a good job. If you're trying
absolutely
to put a mask on, you're setting yourself up for failure. With that being said, it was a real honor and privilege having you as a guest, and I can't wait for part 2.
Honor was mine.
Until we meet again.
Same here.
Catch you later, and have a good night.